Hi, I'm Melissa, and welcome to the Learning Ladybug. Hi there. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can create your very own pocket chart clip art that you can use for your own classroom activities or perhaps to make activities to sell on Teachers Pay Teachers. Here is an example of an activity that I have created for my own student. Now, I created the pocket chart, however, I am not the creator of the clip art. This is clip art that I purchased from Teachers Pay Teachers. And if you're interested in this clip art, I will link the store below so that you can buy your own copy of this clip art. Alright, so let's get started. This is what we are going to create, and we're going to create this using Google Drawing. So from your Google Drive account, and Google is completely free, so you can sign up for Google and you'll have access to this. I have my own account through my school district, and that's the account that I'm using to create this. So I'm going to New, More, and then Google Drawings. So I'm going to go ahead and title it Pocket Chart. Alright, so pocket chart can be a few different shapes. It can be a vertical rectangle, a horizontal rectangle. There's even Venn diagram pocket chart, all sorts of different things. So you want to decide, what are you going to use this pocket chart for? Is it just going to be straight up clip art, or is it going to be part of another assignment? So in the one that I did over here, I wanted it to be used for students to spell sneaky E word. So this is a picture. This is what I created in Google Drawing. So kids cannot move this. They can move the letters, and that's what I use Google Slides for. So they can go ahead and they can grab and spell the word. Okay? But the pocket chart itself is one image, and that's what we're going to accomplish here. If you just want it to be a straight up pocket chart, then you don't need to worry about having other clip art in it. But I wanted it to have clip art inside of the pocket chart that I created. So I'm going to show you both ways to accomplish this. So I'm going to first start off by resizing my artboard. And one thing that's very important to remember about Google Drawing is that you can only have one artboard per document. So you cannot have multiple pictures on here and save them as separate files. This is going to be one picture. Alright, so I went ahead and I resized this to be a 9 by 12. So first thing I'm going to do is grab a rectangle, and I'm just going to draw it out here. Drag it. Okay. So let me center it. If you've watched my other videos, you know I like things to be perfectly centered. Alright, so I have my basic shape here. Not the right color for a pocket chart at all. First thing I want to do is get rid of my border. Now that's a personal preference. You don't have to do that. If you want it to be like a vibrant blue like mine, I used just a straight up blue color here. That's what I used. Now, you can be a little bit more fancy. Maybe you want it to be a green pocket chart or whatever. You can actually even add your own custom colors if you want to be really specific. So for this purpose, let's go ahead and let's just stick with the blue, just like I did on mine here. Alright, the next thing you need to do is to create the little circles where you would attach the pocket chart to the wall. So I'm going to grab the shape tool and then a circle. Make sure that you hold down the shift key when you're dragging your circle out. This will allow your circle to be perfect. It's not going to be an ellipse. So make sure you hold the shift key down, and when you drag it, notice that it's maintaining proportion. So I'm going to look, kind of eyeball it here. I think that looks good. And let me move it up. Okay. Again, I'm just kind of eyeballing it here. Okay, I want this to actually be transparent. So if you're hanging up a pocket chart, that little hole there is not a white hole, it's transparent, like you see through it. So using my pan can, I'm going to change that to transparent. But I'm also going to add some more depth to the circle. So I did that. Alright, now one little problem here is that it's transparent to the point where you can see the blue background. So that's not going to work. So I'm going to change that to be white. Okay? So that's going to cause some problems, especially if you want it to be on a background. Like if you're going to put this on another background, it's going to look kind of goofy. So just kind of be aware of that. You can, using other software, cut this out to where that's not going to be visible. Like if you use Adobe Illustrator, for example, you would be able to use the shape tool here to cut that out so where the blue and the white would not be visible. But unfortunately, you can't do that in this, so I'm just going to leave it white. Alright, so I'm going to copy this by doing Control-C. You can also right-click and choose Copy. And then I'm going to paste it, which is Control-V. I'm looking for my little guidelines here to make sure it's perfectly centered and in line with the other one. And then I need one more. Okay, and I'm trying to eyeball it here. I made it 9 by 12, so it's about an inch. I'm just going to kind of eyeball this here. So I made this one, yeah, started at 1, so yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Alright, so just to make sure that these circles are all lined up the way I want them to, I'm going to highlight all 3, right click, and then align vertically. Now they're exactly in line. And like I said, if you've watched my other videos, you know I like things to be perfect. Alright, that takes care of that. I'm going to go ahead and group all this. So I highlighted everything, right click, and group. Okay, now we need to take care of the transparent rectangles. That's where you would actually put the cards in. So again, I'm going to grab a shape and a rectangle here, and I'm going to just, again, eyeball it. And I can put it up. I'm just going to move it here to the 1 inch. I want to make sure it's exactly 1 inch. It looks like it is. Okay, good. So now I'm going to center it again and bring it down a little bit. Okay, good. Now, this is not quite right yet because it needs to be transparent. First of all, I'm going to get rid of my border, and I'm going to change the custom image there, and then make it custom. So I first of all made it the same blue color, and now I'm grabbing the transparency, I'm bringing it way down. Okay, not quite right, so let's actually make it into white. Whoops, that's not white. And then let's do it again. Let's go to custom, and then bring the transparency down. Yeah, there we go. That's what I want. Okay, so you can play around with it to get the color just right. So by using that blue color, it's going to be the same as the background. And so by making it transparent, you're going to lose it completely. So make sure you have a lighter color such as that white. Alright, so now I'm going to grab it, copy and paste it a few times here. And I want to make sure that I'm putting enough space. That way if I have a card in there, it's not going to be overlapping. I think that's about good. Copying and pasting them again. Okay. Trying to eyeball there. Need a little bit more space. There we go. Do you see on the right hand side there, they have a little guideline? It's letting me know that I have it spaced out the way the other ones were. That's what I'm looking for here. So, okay, centered, and then I'm looking for those little guidelines again. There they are. Okay, good. Now, obviously, one's hanging off, so either I need to bump it all up a little bit, and let's try that. Let's see if I can get it all to fit. Okay, and that might work. Again, I don't want my card to overlap too much, so I think I'm going to actually take this part and lengthen it a little bit. There we go. Okay. And then grab them all again, bump them up just a tiny little bit. There. Okay. Yeah, I like it. It's a pocket chart. So I'm going to highlight. I want the transparent rectangles to all be one piece. And you'll see why in a moment. So I'm going to group those. Okay. So let's say that you want to make an alphabet chart here. So I'm going to draw a square, hold the shift key down and drag, make it a perfect square. Doesn't really matter the size right now, I can adjust that. And then I want to also put in word art, and it's going to be letter A. Okay, so there we go, not the right font. So I'm going to play around with my font a little bit. Okay, and then resize that, bring it in, resize it some more so it fits in there right. Okay, now I gotta fix the color, because the color is not what I want it to be. Let's make this a red, and let's make the actual square, let's get a little fancy. Let's make it, no, I don't want that. Alright, let's work with that, I guess. Let me group that. Okay, so now I'm going to resize it to be kind of what I want it to be to fit into the pocket chart. But thinking about your own actual pocket charts in the classroom, it's going to hang out a little bit. Okay, now the next thing I need to accomplish is to put the card inside of this. So what I'm going to do is bring this to the front. So right click the transparent rectangle, order, bring to front. And what that does is gives the illusion of the card being inside of the pocket. Okay? So now you can do other things with it. If you have alphabet clip art, you can put it in there. Or if you're wanting students to drag the letters to the pocket chart or drag the picture to match up with the letter. So let's say that's what I wanted to do. So let me make a copy of this, and then let's put enough space in here so that way a picture can go in here. Okay, and then I need to change that to B. And it's no longer centered the way I want it to be. I'm going to ungroup it first, and then align vertically, and also align horizontally. Yeah, perfect. And now I'll group it. Okay, and there you go. Maybe I want vowels to be one color and consonants to be another. So let me ungroup it again, and let me change the card color here. Let's make it, I don't want that. Alright, let's do that. And group. And again, grab your rectangles here, bring it to front. Okay, so let's say that you've done that, you have a bunch of letters on there. Your next step is to save it as a PNG. You want to make sure you're saving it as a PNG. First of all, it's better quality image. Second of all, it will ensure that you have a transparent background, meaning that all the space here is going to be clear. It's not going to be white, it's going to be clear. So, File, Download, PNG. Okay, so let's go and make a new Google slide here. New presentation. Okay, so I need to resize this. I'm going to get rid of that because I don't need that. File, page setup. I'm going to do, see, I made this 9 by 12, so I'll stick with 9 by 12. Go with that. Alright, now I'm going to make this my background. Again, I don't want my kids to be able to touch it or move it around. So, change background, choose image, and I'm just going to drag it in there, and done. Look, now it is the background. So, if I had some alphabet clip art, which I believe I do, we shall find out in a moment. thought I had alphabet clip art. Maybe I have it saved into my Google my Google Drive, I mean. Alright, let's look here. If not, I'll just grab whatever. For our purposes, it's not a big deal. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I do, I just don't have it saved. So let me just grab some CVC clip art. And this is made by Ashley Hughes. And like I said, I will link her store down below, because her work is incredible. I love her work. Alright, let's pretend. Okay, let's do a bee one here. So we have a bat. Okay. So you could have these pictures on the side for the student to work with. And maybe I want to make it a vertical thing. And I am holding the shift key down when I'm doing this because it's maintaining the picture proportion. Okay. And there we go. Now, I'll be honest, I don't particularly like that. I want it to look like it's on a card. So let me show you really quick how you can do that. So I'm going to make another Google drawing. Okay. That did not do what I wanted to do. So let me go ahead and insert. Oh, there it is. Okay. Get an error message. That's always fun too. Alright, let me try to get that bat back in there. Okay. There we go. But I want it to be a card. So I'm going to drag this up. Make a smaller artboard. Okay. And get my bat back. There it is. Alright, so grab a shape, make it a square, hold your shift key down, and then you can bring the bat in there. Arrange. Okay. Now, okay, and then if you don't like that color, you can change it to whatever you want it to be. Okay. Alright, file, download PNG. Okay, so now this is its own picture. And by the way, if you're selling on Teachers Pay Teachers, this is a really nice trick to do. It protects the images from being copied. So make sure you're reading your terms of service. For my own personal classroom, it's okay if the pictures aren't flattened on something else. But if you're planning on selling something like this, you're going to want to do something like this because it will protect the image. Alright, so now it's a card, so the student can put it in there. Now, they can't put it inside the pocket because remember, this is its own picture. But that's okay. This is really for aesthetic reasons. For when the students are actually playing in it, it's not a big deal that it's not inside the pocket. But this is just a simple activity that you can do for your kids, matching up pictures to letter sounds or whatever. So I hope this kind of helps give you some insight on how you can make your own pocket chart. The possibilities are endless. Just imagine you can make your own Venn diagram pocket chart and do some really cool compare and contrasting activities with Google Slides. Don't forget about me when you become a Teachers Pay Teacher gazillionaire, because You learned it from me first, right? Have fun. I can't wait to see your creation. Until next time, this has been a Learning Ladybug production. Bye.